Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is video number 3 in our summer math program. After you finish watching this video, you'll go take a quiz on Blackboard and get yourselves 3/4 of the way through your summer math requirements. This video is going to be about exponents and polynomials. I know it was everyone's favorite chapter when we did this. Keep in mind there's going to be some banging. That's our Unlocking the Legacy. The lockers are being ripped out of the math hallway today, and I apologize for that distraction. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do, I'm not doing reminders to get us started because hopefully this was part of the chapter that was relatively easy for us. So we're going to combine like terms. So I'm going to say 5x, well, this is 5x to the fourth plus 7x squared minus 3x minus 9x cubed minus 12 plus, and in parentheses, 11x to the fourth minus 4x squared plus 4, and that is a doozy. So I'm just going to circle the first term or put a square on the first term, and then I'm going to go through. Do I have another x to the fourth here? No. X to the fourth? Nope. X to the fourth? Nope. Nope. Yes, x to the fourth. So I say positive 5x to the fourth plus 11x to the fourth. Well, 11 plus 5, all we're going to do is add the coefficients. 11 plus 5 is 16x to the fourths. Now I'm going to move down the line, and honestly, I really prefer to have my polynomial in standard form. And remember, that means I'm going to start with the variable with the highest exponent and then go down in exponent degrees from there. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to put my minus sign in the block because I need to remember this is negative 9x cubed. Do I have an x cubed there? Nope, nope, nope. Hey, I don't have any other x cubed terms. So now I'm just going to come down here and write negative 9x cubed. Well, I'm dealing with x cubed, so now I want to deal with x squared. So I find this and I say, okay, there's an x squared number. Is this an x squared? Nope. Is this an x squared? Nope. That's already used this. So now I have this, and I'm going to circle the negative number with it. I want to make certain that I'm taking into consideration that negative sign. So I have plus 7x squared and minus 4x squared. 7 minus 4 is 3, so I have 3x squared. Now I'm going to look for just regular old x's. So I'm going to say I've got negative 3x, and that's not, nope, nope. So I don't have anything to combine that with, so I'm just going to bring it down, minus 3x. And then the last thing that I need to look for is just regular old numbers. So I have negative 12 here and positive 4. Negative 12 plus 4 is going to give me negative 8. And that's my final answer. When it says simplify and I'm adding polynomials, I'm combining like terms. So I find exponents, or excuse me, I find terms where the variables are the exact same and just add their coefficient. All right, so now I need to simplify this one, but this is a little bit different because I have this minus sign. So that minus sign is going to distribute into the terms. So each one of these, I just need to flip the sign. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to say 3a squared b plus 4ab squared minus 5b cubed. And then I'm going to distribute that minus sign. The net effect of distributing the minus sign is just changing the sign. Negative 2ab squared becomes plus 2ab squared. Positive 7b cubed becomes negative 7b cubed. Negative 8a squared b becomes plus 8a squared b. So now I just need to do the same thing that I did the last time. I'm going to compare my terms and combine anything where their variables and exponents are exactly the same. I don't have a standard form for this one because the way the variables are mixed. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. So I'm going to say, well, I've got 3a squared b. Do I have anything else that has a squared and b? And I go down the line and I find this one. So I say 3a squared b plus 8a squared b. 3 plus 8 is 11. And then my variables stay the same, a squared b. So now I'm going to say I've got 4ab squared, and I go down the line and I look for something else that has a and b squared. So I've got this. All right, so I need to say my variables are the same. I'm going to add my coefficients. 4 plus 2 is 6, so 6ab squared. And now lastly, I'm going to go through and I'm going to find anything with b cubed. That's my next thing. So I have minus 5b cubed and minus 7b cubed. So minus 5 minus 7 is going to give me negative 12. B cubed. And that's my final answer. The trickiest part of this is remembering that when you have that minus sign, it gets distributed into the parentheses. All right, find the product. This was something else that we had to do. We had to remember how to multiply these binomials and trinomials by each other. So I'm going to bring this down and say 6b minus 3 times negative 4b plus 8. And I need to take this 6b and I need to multiply it by negative 4b. I multiply my coefficients. 6 times negative 4 is negative 24, and then I multiply my variables. B times b is b squared. I'm going to take this 6 and I'm going to multiply it by the next term. 6b times positive 8. Well, 6 times 8 is 48. And I don't multiply the b against anything, so my middle term, or this term, becomes 48b. I am going to take this negative 3 and I'm going to multiply it by the first term in the second set of parentheses. Negative 3 times negative 4b. Well, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. There's no b in the first term and there's a b in the second term, so I bring this down and I have 12b. The next thing I need to do is take that negative 3 and multiply it by this 8. Negative 3 times positive 8 gives me negative 24. That was supposed to change colors. My bad, sorry. So now I just need to combine like terms. My like terms in this particular case are 48b and 12b. So now I'm going to rewrite my answer as negative 24b squared. 12 and 48 is 60, so 60b minus 24, and that's my final answer. All right, this is where the reminders come in. We were given, in my class, we talked about 7 rules of exponents. This just adds x to the first power is equal to x, and x, I don't know what else it adds. It just restates things a little bit differently than I did. It might be a great idea to pause the video and take some notes from this so that you have all this in front of you for doing the problems on the quiz. All right, so we need to simplify this equation. When I'm multiplying, I multiply like bases, I need to add the exponents. But the first thing I see here is I've got a 4 and a 6. So I'm going to multiply the regular numbers. So I'm going to say 4 times 6 is 24. Okay? I'm going to deal with a squared times a cubed. Well, that's a squared times a cubed. We'll deal with that in a bit. And then there's this b. There's no other b, so it becomes that. I'm going to bring down the 24. This becomes a to the 2 plus 3 times b. Well, 2 plus 3 is 5, so my final answer is 24 a to the 5th b. All right, so this is the next one that we have to do. This is a product to a power and a power to a power. So I have a couple of things. Oh, and there's a negative exponent in there. There's a 0 exponent. So I have a lot of stuff to think about. But the first thing that I'm going to do is recognize that I have a situation like this. And you notice I have x, y, so 2 things being multiplied together. Both of those things are being raised to the n power, and that becomes x to the nth and y to the nth, and we're multiplying those 2 things together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go apply that rule first. So I'm going to say 2 to the 3rd, and then, oh, what do I do here? I've got x to the negative 2. Well, let's write it like this for now. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's do the same thing here. Let's say y to the 3rd, and we'll raise that to the 3rd. And then what is what is z to the 0 power? Z to the 0 power is just 1. So I'm actually going to call this 1 to the 3rd power. So I've got one less thing I need to worry about. Let's go back and take a look and see what x to the -2 raised to the 3rd power, what rule works for that one. So I come back to that, and that is like this one right here. So I have a power to a power. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply my two different exponents together. Okay, so let's go over and multiply our two exponents together on the next line. So I'll figure out what 2 to the 3rd is in a minute. It said to multiply these two exponents. -2 times +3 is -6. And 3 times 3 is 9. And then I'm just going to deal with this in the next line. Okay, so I'm in really good shape. Now I just need to simplify things. 2 to the 3rd power, well, that's 2 times 2 times 2. This is 4 times 2, so this is 8. So 2 to the 3rd is 8. And then I have x to the 6th. Well, I know that there's something funny about a negative exponent, like I'm not allowed to have them. And this says that if I have x to the -n, then I'm going to put it in the denominator of a fraction and make it positive. So let's go do that. So I'm going to put it in the denominator of a fraction. In this particular case, my numerator is 8. It's already there. So now I'm going to move on to y to the 9th. Well, there's nothing I have to do to that. And then 1 to the 3rd. Well, 1 to the 3rd is the same as 1 times 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So no, this is 1. Do I need to write that? The cool kids don't. So your final answer is 8y to the 9th over x to the 6th. That is your final answer for this problem. Here's the last one that we're going to do in this video, and it looks like a beast. So let's work on the numerator, and then we'll work on the denominator. We'll do one step at a time, and each time we'll take the numerator, and then we'll take the denominator. So I'm going to draw on my fraction bar, and I'm going to say, all right, well, I've got 3 times 5. I multiply the regular numbers first, and that gives me 15. And already I feel like I've accomplished something. Yay me. And then I have x squared times x, and that is x to the 2 plus, well, it's not, there's not anything written there. The exponent there is 1, so 2 plus 1. And then I've got this y and y to the -1. Well, keep in mind, if there's no exponent written, it's 1. So that means that over here, I have y to the 1 minus 1. So we're going to add those two exponents together. So that's what's going up on the numerator. We'll come back to that in a minute. The bottom one, well, this is tricky. And the reason why it's tricky is it's that negative thing, and I don't know what that means. But I have to remind myself that that negative is actually like saying -1 times x times y to the -2. All right, so now I'm going to come back to my rules and say, all right, I've got a product to a power. So I've got stuff in parentheses that's raised to a power. So this is the one that I need to use. So I've got these things raised to a power, so I'm just going to bring that n in. All right, so let's go apply that. All right, so I'm going to say I've got -1 cubed, and I've got x cubed, and I've got y to the -2 cubed. All right, so that's my first step on the bottom. Now let's go ahead and write a new equal sign and work on the numerator again. So 15, nothing happens there. X to the 2 plus 1 becomes x to the 3rd, and y to the 1 minus 1 becomes y to the 0 power. We'll tidy that up in the next step, but hopefully you're all going, but Mrs. Taylor, that's just 1. I'm going to leave it there and we'll deal with it the next line. All right, -1 cubed, that's the same as -1 times -1 times -1. -1 times -1 is +1. +1 times -1 is -1. So this becomes -1. X to the cube is already at its most simple form. And then we have y to the -2 to the third power. So let's double back to these rules and say, okay, woo, that is not what I meant to do. So when I look at this list of things, I say, well, that sure looks like this. I've got a power raised to a power, and when that happens, I multiply those two things together. So let's come back out here and look at y to the -2 raised to, so that becomes y to the -2 times 3. We're almost finished, folks. Hang out with me. All right, so it's 15x cubed. I'm not going to write y to the 0 because that equals 1, and I'm not going to even write times 1 because anything times 1 is just itself. So I'm going to leave it as 15x cubed. Now down on the bottom, I don't need to write -1. I'm just going to write a minus sign, and I'm going to put x cubed because that's simple. And then I have y to the -2 times 3. -2 times 3 is -6. And I thought I was really close to being done, but I'm not allowed to have any negative exponents. So we have that rule that says that if I have x to the -n, that equals 1 over x to the +n. Well, here's the deal. If I have 1 over x to the -n, that equals x to the +n. So I'm just going to move it up on top and make my exponent positive. So now I'm going to have 15x cubed y to the 6th over -x cubed. And now it occurs to me that I'm not finished. I've got an x cubed and an x cubed in the top and the bottom. All right. So let's go look at our rules and see what it says about having stuff in the top and the bottom. All right, well, that's this rule. It says if you have x to the m in the numerator and x to the n in the denominator, subtract m minus n. All right, so let's go do that. All right, so this becomes 15x to the 3 minus 3. I'm taking 3 and I'm subtracting 3. Y to the 6th, and then this is over -1. Okay, we're getting close. I can feel it. I thought we were really close to being done a couple of steps ago. 15 divided by -1, that's -15. X to the 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So it's x to the 0 and then y to the 6th. All right, not done because I don't want that x to the 0 in there. So my final answer is going to be -15 y to the 6th. That is my final answer. And that's all we're doing for today. Go take the video, but remember that you have this resource here, and I would strongly recommend writing this stuff down so that you have these rules available to refer to. All right, go crush it and stop back for video number 4.